Hi you guys. So today we're going to discuss again the difference between this weight and a jiggler, but we're also going to talk about the gauges and why do they say a 10-pound weight or 11 pounds on the dial. What's that about? So over here we've got my carrots, which I did a few weeks ago when the USDA book, and it says right down here for a dial gauge pressure canner, 11 pounds. Weighted gauge pressure canner, 10 pounds. So what the hell? This is at sea level, of course. It's 12, 13, 14 for pounds for the higher elevations, right? So, but we're going to stick with sea level. So 11 pounds, 10 pounds. Yeah, what the heck's going on? So first of all, let's talk about this. This is not a jiggler. This came with your Presto. This is just a pressure regulator, or what we think of as a weight. This is 15 pounds as it is. You can use it as a jiggler if you're high in elevation or you want to pressure can up to 15 pounds. But if you're just doing like 10 or 11 pounds, this is not going to move when you get to your weight or your pressure that you need. It's not going to move. It weighs 15 pounds. I mean, it doesn't weigh 15 pounds. You know what I mean? It's for 15 pounds of regulation. This is an aftermarket jiggler. It comes apart in pieces, so I can take this part off. Oh, let me get it off. Life is easier when you have two hands. So it comes apart into, that's 10 pounds. So one of these came off, it's 10 pounds. And now that's 5 pounds. So 5, 10, 15. So if I want 10 pounds, I just take off one of those. And now I can use this as a jiggler. So it will move when I get up to my correct pressure. Okay. So what's the difference between 11 pounds and 10 pounds? So the weight, and this is true for 15 and 16 pounds or 5 pounds and 6 pounds on the gauge, right? So they're always a pound off. So why is that? So this is why. This will stay, and this is 10 pounds, right? We're using this as a 10 pound. This is going to stay stationary until it reaches about 10.5 pounds. It's a 10-pound weight, which means it's going to stay stationary until 10 pounds. After 10 pounds, on the way to 11 pounds, is when this will start to move. So it should move if everything in the world has aligned and the stars are in place at 10.5 pounds, so 10.5 pounds, this will start to rock. So they say to do 11 pounds on the gauge to give you a little wiggle room, right? So maybe you're just shy of 11 pounds, just over 11 pounds, and that's the same with this weight. They say 10 pounds, but it's really not going to start moving until 10.5 pounds, maybe even 11 pounds. So in reality, 11 pounds and 10 pounds with this moving are the same weight, the same pressure. They're the same for all intents and purposes. This monitors how much pressure there is in here, measures how much pressure there is in here, and this actually regulates the pressure. Slight difference. So when it gets above 10.5 pounds, that's when it starts to go shh, 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 and that's what we're looking for, so you can hear it from across the room. So is there a difference? No, not for all intents and purposes in canning. It's about the same. So 10 pounds just means it's not going to move until it's above 10 pounds because it's made to move at 10.5 pounds, right? And you add this on and that would be 15. So just remember, this is 15 pounds. This is an aftermarket jiggler. You can buy it on Amazon. It's like less than 15 bucks. I'll link one below. Read your dial gauges. And let's take a look at my All-American. So I've got the All-American canner lid, just the lid here for you too, and it's the same thing. Here's my weight for this. It's much easier. You just flip it 5, 10, 15 pounds. There's a hole, you know, for 10. There's a hole right there for 5 and a hole right there. So when I put it on, it will start to spin and rock at about 10.5 pounds if everything is perfect in the world, maybe closer to 11. And we look at this for 11, so in reality, they're about the same thing. So when you start to watch your weight or your jiggler move, look at your dial gauge. You're going to be right at almost 11 if you're using 10 pounds. So that's the big mystery solved for you. I don't know why this is not talked about more in detail, but so the 10 pounds here and 11 pounds here, it's the same thing because this doesn't start rocking until 10 and a half. Yada, 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 yada. Any other questions, let me know. I'm going to can some tomato puree and tomato paste. So stay tuned. Woo! And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.